Hey, it's Nick Vaught. Welcome to Vaught's Vault of Horror. I am here in Salt Lake City, Utah, taking a tour of some of the filming locations from Halloween's 4, 5, and 6. This represented a pretty big change for the franchise as the first three movies were shot pretty much, I think, entirely in California. Halloween 1 and 2 pretty much in Southern California. Halloween 3 ventured up to Northern California quite a bit. So this is a very different looking locale. But it gave the movies a little bit more of a Midwest feel. Obviously, it did. South Pasadena and West Hollywood, California, look a lot different than Salt Lake City. So this is actually, if you can see behind me, the Myers house from Halloween 5, and it looks absolutely nothing like the house from the original Halloween. I mean, they couldn't have picked really a more different looking house. This one's got kind of like a Gothic feel, I think. I don't really know house styles, but it's got, it's much bigger. I mean, I understand like I said, Salt Lake City and Southern California don't look exactly alike, but I feel like you could have found something that, even looked remotely close in appearance. But it's a cool looking house. It's big and it's got some cool features to it. So I'm going to check out some more locations here as much as I can handle. It is pretty cold. This is a different environment for me doing these videos. So this is the first stop, the Michael Myers house from Halloween 5. And let's see what we can find next. Okay, now we're here at the house that was used for the Carruthers residence in Halloween 4. I believe Halloween 5 as well. I'm not sure. And quite frankly, it's too cold to do all the reconnaissance I usually do. But this is the house of the main character, Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris. This is where she lives with her stepsister, Rachel, played by Elaine Cornell, and her step-parents. And, it looks, it's been painted since then. It looks a lot different. And then, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but you just look this way and there's mountains in the background, which is definitely not to be seen in Illinois. So, but again, you see palm trees and the original Halloween. So just about what's in frame. All right, so right next door, actually, I'm gonna walk over here. I think this house next to it is one of the houses that they show losing power when Michael cuts the power, because you can't have a horror movie without the power going out. And I believe there's another house a couple doors up that was also featured, so I'll walk up there next. So I believe this is another one of the houses that loses power in Halloween 4 after Michael cuts the power. So you can do all these big bad things. And actually the three houses are all right next to one another. I believe we're on 3rd Avenue here in Salt Lake, if you're ever in the area. All right, now I'm gonna try to go find what's next before I freeze to death. Now we're here on 2nd Avenue in front of what was the Meeker residence in Halloween 4. Meeker being the character Sheriff Meeker, played by Bo Starr. The characters hunker down here after the power goes out, waiting for Michael. And Michael, being Michael, does not disappoint and shows up and dispatches of a few of them. The house, like a lot of the houses I've seen so far, look a lot different. I mean, we are talking about over 35 years ago, so it seems to make sense that the locations would change some. It was just about a 5-minute walk from the previous locations I was at, and then again, if you look behind me over my shoulder, kind of some more mountains. So it's a pretty cool view from here. But yeah, it's been watching these movies for years, so to finally see some of these locations in person is pretty wild. I mean, living in LA, there's so many locations that you probably don't even realize and you take for granted. But I've seen a lot of the Halloween 1, 2, and 3 locations a lot. So to finally see some other ones, especially from a different state, is pretty cool. Hey, now we're off Lincoln Street, and behind me is the house that was used as the Strode house in Halloween 6. The Strode house turned out to be the Myers house, and guess who came home in that movie but Michael? And again, some more killings took place in this house. Halloween 6 was the first Halloween movie I can remember coming out. I was of a certain age, and I remember it posters being up in the video store. If anyone watching is old enough to remember those. And I can remember they had like 3 posters, and they would like kind of crinkle them outward to make like a 3D effect. So I have a soft spot for this movie. Generally, it's considered on the lower rung of the Halloween movies, but I do love it. The house, it looks pretty much the same. I mean, there was also, I don't know what side of the yard it was, but there's a scene where Mr. Strode comes out and chops down a sign of Michael Myers that some neighborhood kids had left as a prank. And if you've seen Halloween 6, you know Mr. Strode is one of the worst characters in the entire Halloween franchise, played by Bradford English, who I used to work at his agency way back when, and he came in once, and I didn't take advantage of talking to him about the movie, but he recently passed away, so R.I.P. But yeah, so this was the Strode house that they couldn't sell because everyone else knew the history, except for some reason the rest of the family that lived here. That, of course, it was Michael's house. I mean, this looks a little bit more like the one in South Pasadena. Certainly a lot different than the one we just saw from Halloween 5. Why they didn't continue to use that one, I'm not sure. Maybe it just wasn't available. Maybe they wanted to, again, make it a little bit more closer. So yeah, kind of cool to come and check out and see this. Now, up in the upper windows is where the character of Kara notices that Paul Rudd's character is kind of spying on her, more or less, and from a house across the street. But I don't believe that is the house used in the movie. I think it's a house that's a couple blocks over. So I'm gonna go try and find that. All right, so that was literally right around the block, only a couple hundred feet. So this is the house that Paul Rudd's character lives in Halloween 6. And you can see in the window, that's probably the window that he was looking out of, that they matched with the house around the corner where he's looking at the character of Kara. This was Paul Rudd's first movie that he shot. It came out after Clueless, but he shot Clueless after this. In fact, he was known as Paul Stephen Rudd back then. This window here, I believe, is where the character of Kara jumps out of when the bad guys are trying to kidnap her. And then on the lawn is where Paul Rudd and Donald Pleasance's character wake up after they've been drugged. Somewhere in the yard. I don't know if it's that way or over here. Again, sometimes I would take pictures to match when I'm out in the street, but it's just too freaking cold for that. So it's somewhere in the yard that they were. Yeah. Well, and also, I don't know if they shot interiors here or not. They might have. I've never read anything about it being on a set, so they probably did. They probably shot a lot of those scenes inside. So it's weird to see the snow on the ground here, because obviously the movies are all shot or take place around Halloween, so it's usually, you know, a lot of fall foliage, which is some, but the snow on the ground lends it a different kind of look. We are now on D Street in front of the Foodie and Sweetie D Market. This is the location in Halloween 5 where the character of Mike pulls his car up right over my shoulder in front of the store and meets his girlfriend Tina and his friends Samantha and Spitz. They discuss their plans for that evening and also arrange for Spitz to sneak Mike some beer. To get that beer, Mike pulls in the alleyway behind the store, where he's met by Mr. Michael Myers and is killed. I'm not sure if they filmed the death scene back here. It looks kind of small compared to the movie, but could have been all angles and different lenses to make it look that way. So I'm gonna walk back there and then see if I can match those scenes. There is a back door back here behind the shop, much like the one in the movie where the character of Spitz comes out to meet Mike. But again, I'm not sure if this is the same area or not, but I'm just taking some footage just in case. I'll try to match it a little later when it's not 28 degrees outside with the sun setting. So it turns out that was the alleyway where Michael killed Mike. So I'm glad I got some footage there. I did not get to every location I wanted to get to in Salt Lake and the surrounding areas, but I got to a good deal of them, which I'm happy about. It was the first time I'd ever seen any location in person from Halloween's 4, 5, or 6. So it was cool to cross those off my bucket list. I hope to get back one day. I absolutely loved it in Salt Lake. It was gorgeous. Obviously the scenery of the mountains and the snow, and everyone there was, all the people we met were super nice, and food was great, and we had a great time. So hopefully I can get back, not only to experience the city a little bit more, but to check out some of those locations I missed the first time. Anyway, thanks for taking this little tour with me on these Halloween 4, 5, and 6 locations. If you haven't hit like and subscribe yet, please do. And until next time, thanks for watching.